To answer some of these questions, we have Sani Saidu, Acting Director, FCT Fire Service, to talk to us about the response to fire emergencies in Nigeria. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
It's good to have you join us.
Good morning.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about some of the major causes, of these fire incidences that we have been seeing in recent times.
Yes, some of these major fire outbreak, you see electric fault, that is current surge. Sometimes when you are going to the office, you tend to be in a hurry. Then by doing that, you forgot one thing or the other to put it off. You leave it. So you see, at your absence, we don't have steady current. Current keep on fluctuating. It is on. In the next few hours or minutes, it is off. But you see, sometimes when now they are restoring back the electricity, the current move in the kind of turbulent form through the cables. Then if you leave your appliances on or any electrical gadget that uses the electric current on, if the inbuilt stabilizer is not strong enough to hold back this current surge, then now you see there will be problem. Because when I said the current surge, you see, when now the light is being restored back, the current moves in the turbulent form, in the twisted manner and with full force. So if these are electrical appliances, the inbuilt stabilizer is not very strong enough to hold that magnitude of that current that is coming, then you see to blow it off. Then once it blow it off, the fire starts from there.
All right. And are there now other causes apart from electrical problems? I mean, we've heard about tanker explosions and all of that, and some of them not really electrical faults and all of that. How do you explain that?
This tankers fire. You see, as I was briefing you, it can be electrical from the connection. They use this battery. And there are connections that now current flow. Sometimes if it is faulty and has not been put in order on time, it can result to that. Sometimes when these tankers are moving the fuel from where they have now loaded it to where they will offload it, it takes a long distance. So during the dry season when they are moving, the trucks get in contact with all this air, and sometimes the electron on the outer shell of this air molecules get stuck off, and then now loaded on the body of the tank, thereby now developing a high electromagnetic field. So you see, another thing has been formed. Then at any slightest mistake, when it has grown into a very larger magnitude, so it will like to be neutralized. So it is jumping from the higher magnitude to the lower magnitude. Then from there you see, now it moves against itself. So there will be a friction. That friction in between them is what causes the lightning. Okay. And when it is very high, because the friction the movement is very high, then now you will hear associated with sound. So both of them happen at the same time. But you see, just as when the rain is falling, when it happens at the sky, you will see that the lightning happen, then shortly is followed by the sound, thunder. It happens at the same time, but because sound travel lesser than the light to us, so we see the light first before now the sound comes later.
All right, tell us about the level of preparedness of the fire service, their capacity and also their response capability.
Is it in general in Nigeria
Yes.
or in FCT?
Yeah, well, you can do both.
Well, in general, in general, you see, we have seen how the federal government has tried under the leadership of our able president, Muhammadu Buhari. So, through the Federal Fire Service, the National Assembly has voted enough money for them, and then they are still utilizing it in the best interest of the nation by providing the necessary things to safeguard the lives and property of the citizens in this country. In FCT, again, we are not left behind. That one, as I was explaining, is federal level. Then FCT is different. So we have different ministers. That one to do the Ministry of Interior. Why this one Ministry of FCT? So we in our own part FCT, we are doing our best through our able minister. So what we have constantly, we service them, we take care of them, and then more are being supplied.
Okay. Some Nigerians, always raise this concern about, the response, the quick response of the fire service to emergency situations. Some will even say that, look, Nigeria is not known to be, very responsive in terms of, emergencies and all of that. What would you tell these kind of people to say, to convince them or to give them some kind of confidence that, look, when there is an emergency situation, call on us, we will attend to it promptly.
You see, as I always say, we Nigerians, we are struggling, we are moving up to the international practice. You see, in developed country, just like say Britain, they are in the form of canteen. So each canteen has his own fire station, and all the residents around that area, they are being connected to the system of the fire service. Once there is any fire outbreak in any part of that country, now the fire service see it directly in their own system. Then even if you don't call, they have seen it, they mobilize themselves and then now move. So you see, they will be there on time, prompt. Then now they will do their own professional needful, and then now come back. Then they can only inform the owner of the house that come back and take care of your properties. There was fire outbreak, and then now we have to extinguish it. You come back because they have all their addresses, their telephone numbers. But here in Nigeria, when now you want to introduce this, you faced by so many negative forces. They don't want. They want to continue like this. And once there is fire outbreak within your own premises, sometimes you tend to forget, even if you have the numbers of the emergency number of fire service, you tend to forget. You cannot even think properly and call.
Why do people forget? Is it because people do not have confidence?
No, they are panicking
in the response.
No, they are panicking. In FCT, we are everywhere in FCT.
But if someone is confident that he is going to get a response if he makes a call, he will definitely do that, isn't it?
You see, as I told you, my brother, human error, you cannot avoid it. If at that time, even let's assume that it's your own house that is on fire, you know our own numbers. You see, you unless somebody try to remind you, because that time your brain is now alert on so many things that you want to do at a very short time. So that number, FCT Fire Service, that number 09-290-6118, you tend to forget it. Except maybe if you are neighbor, they remember, then they call. But mostly, it's not the person, the owner of the property that is on fire that do call.
Okay, how many fire stations do we have in the FCT?
In the FCT, we have about 16 fire stations.
And are they well spread?
Yes, 9 in the capital city.
Okay.
So then now the other one are spread into other area councils.
Okay, with these stations spread everywhere, what is your usual response time?
Usual response time, we see, is 5 minutes. And do you know why? Because this we decentralize the stations so that we can achieve that 5 minutes of response time. Sometimes less, 3 minutes, we are there. Like the one that happens in Kubwa market, less than 5 minutes, we were there. Because it was close to us. So, and that was why you see that there wasn't any shops that got burned down by this inferno. We were there promptly, we had the sound, and then even some motorbike, they came to inform us that they say, yes, we have had the sound. We followed them. And before now it could cause much havoc. We are there, we do our professional work. Then we extinguish them. At the same time, when the Kubwa station was there, they put call to the headquarters at Sokoro. And we moved there together as Pump 2 with our water tankers and then the fire appliances. And we assisted them and we clean up everything. Then
so what are the kind of challenges that you face in responding to emergencies, timely and duly?
You see, the only challenges that we face, this traffic hold-up. Sometimes when the road is somehow choked up, you see you cannot follow on top of the vehicles to go and then effect rescue. If you say you are going to smash the vehicles to move, you are causing another emergency. So we have to look for we have to slow down a bit, try to maneuver, see how we can move, and then get there on time. So it's the traffic jam that normally cause our own.
So are we thinking around, probably deploying other means, of going and responding to such emergencies in case of traffic incidences, maybe deploying maybe aircraft or maybe helicopters or any other means like that?
You see, as I said earlier, we are moving up to that level. In the developed country, they use helicopter to extinguish fire from the above. To extinguish fire. When they see that the situation warrants for that, they use helicopter to extinguish. They have it. We must gradually will reach there one day.
The fire service in Nigeria has been in existence for decades.
Yes.
What does it take to have these kind of systems, that you are talking about? And why are we not having it in place?
You see, we didn't know before that our darling fire service will have all those facilities that has been provided by the federal government.
It was a black
service. But you see, today we see it and we feel it. So what I'm saying will not be far away. Maybe in the near future times we will experience such. Another government will come. You just give a budget. When you see that the economy can accommodate that, you give the budget. We go to where they are doing all this construction. Then now we tell them what we want, and then now they will do it for us. They may bring it in tens or in hundreds, as far as our money can accommodate it.
Okay, well, you'd actually agree that fire safety measures are completely neglected by Nigerians now. How do you enlighten or train the public on, what measures to take?
You see, fire safety training has been going on right from day one. Once you establish a fire station, the fire safety department unit is also there. The operational unit, also there. The admin unit, also there. These 3 units are the ones that form fire service. So you cannot establish fire service without the fire safety unit there, or without the operational unit, or without the admin unit. So these 3 major units, they are the ones that form the fire service. And the work of the fire preventive unit is to go around. They are just like field workers, to go around and sensitize the public against fire outbreak and its own negative impact on the public. So they are there day and night, sensitizing the people. So you see, and then the operational cycle are also there, 24 hours. So also getting ready for any distress call that might reach them in the station, then they can move, and then now do their own professional needs.
Okay, now aside the use of codes, distress numbers, for people, what other means of monitoring fire incidents do you have and that you work with in terms of getting information as to fire incidences within the FCT?
You see, we get it through the media. Sometimes that is why when you enter our control room or our watch room, you see a big television. 24 hours is there. Because even if the light goes up, we on the gen. So that if now there is any fire incident somewhere or any disaster somewhere, and they couldn't reach us, and maybe the media people have reached, then we will see it through the media. Then we mobilize ourselves and reach there to do our professional work, even if you do not call. So you see, we also learn on the media sometimes.
So if the media does not do that, what then happens?
Sometimes
have you considered maybe having some kind of surveillance cameras in certain locations that you may say these are critical locations that we need to put an eye on?
No, we don't have camera located at any strategic areas. So that is why I told you earlier that we are coming up. What you have not seen in place today, tomorrow you may see it. You see, even we are disturbing the government on what we needed to make everything okay. But you see, you can't get everything at the same time. You keep on moving. If they now assisted you today, tomorrow they will say, wait, they have to assist another sector. Then next tomorrow, they will not come back to you. Where did we stop and what did you need? You say this and this. Then they will say, okay. Then now they assist you. Next time, come on, they go to another. So that is how it has been done. So you see, as I told you earlier, fire service was not like that. Maybe let's just say 10 years back. It wasn't like this. There has been a very tremendous improvement. And if this trend continue, within a short time we will reach where you are thinking. We will reach there.
Okay, now can you help us through this scenario? Now, I understand the fact that most residential houses don't have access to, fire, equipment like extinguishers, sprinklers, or even fire alarms. Now, if one is actually trapped in their house or in a room where there's fire or smoke, what's the first thing that that person should do?
You see, if we are there, we break the house. If the door cannot break, even the wall, we can break it. If doors and windows cannot, we can break the wall and enter. The law back us and effect our own rescue. Then we come back. Then now, when the owner comes back, then now he or she will see how they can mend something. So you see, like now, let's assume that maybe somebody is trapped, maybe 20-story building, this and that. We have what is called hydraulic platform that can be raised to that level. Then now fireman will now enter into the room and then now effect the rescue and then now bring it out. So we can also use the hydraulic platform now to extinguish the fire. You know how it is being constructed. We cannot go into that because it will take much time. And then now we can use the hydraulic platform and then now extinguish the fire. Then now we, even 20, 30-story building, just like what happened in that USA 2000 and is it 2000 and one co?
September 11.
That's September 8. September 11.
11.
So you see those one they are hydraulic platform. That then now it is being raising up and then now they do the needful.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. I think we have to end the discussion here because of our time. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your thoughts with us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we've been speaking with Acting Director of the FCT Fire Service, Sani Saidu, and he has been giving us his thoughts about, the response of the fire service to fire incidences in the FCT. Well, we have some numbers that you could call in terms of emergencies, and we'll be scrolling that on our screen, on the scroll bar. It gives you information about the various locations in the FCT, depending on where you reside, and the numbers to call in terms of emergencies. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.